In the Field updates on Market Journal are supported by the Nebraska Corn Board. Finally, on this week's show, we're looking back again to our time at Husker Harvest Days. There, producer Mike Straub got some great tips on managing nitrogen and winterizing irrigation systems.
It's been a pretty nice wet year this year, and equipment hasn't ran quite as much, but still right now as we wrap up and get ready for winter, we need to make sure we've got everything drained out. Also, a really important thing to do is to make a list of things that need repaired. January, we can run the combine or the tractor and see what might be wrong with it, but center pivots we can't really start up when it's below freezing. And so this time of year, make a list of things that need to be repaired, things that you want to take care of. Off-season maintenance programs from every piece of farm equipment's always a better price, and so you want to make sure you kind of get those things taken care of. Fall's the time to close any center pivot tracks that we need to, so the soil can consolidate over the winter and be ready for next spring. Well, one of the things that we always want to remind people about is that sprinkler packages do wear out on your center pivot. Kind of the industry standards about every 10 years or 10,000 hours, which typically in Nebraska 10 years comes first. But you want to think about those sprinkler packages out there that usually the pressure regulators go bad before the sprinklers do. And with the quality, most of Nebraska we've got good quality groundwater, and so it's just a good idea to think about replacing those over the winter. Right now is not an overly profitable time in agriculture, of course, but it's still good to think about that. And take a look at some of those kinds of things, because they're certainly, they do wear out, and when the uniformity goes bad on the center pivot, you end up pumping more water to get the same amount of irrigation done, and you're overwatering some areas, depercolating your nitrogen away and different things. So that's certainly one of the things to think about.
The nitrogen is a very important and the most limiting nutrient for the crop growth, especially for the corn in Nebraska. And at this time, the farmers are looking how much nitrogen do they need to apply, and there are so many tools available that can help the farmers to determine the right nitrogen rate. At this booth, we are demonstrating one new technology, that is a crop canopy sensor. That is a reactive approach of determining the nitrogen rate during the growing season. So the farmers using that tool can identify the stressed nitrogen, the nitrogen that needs more nitrogen during the growing season. So this is one of the most advanced technology that we are demonstrating here for the farmers to use for their crop during the growing season. Early, in time, people used to apply all the nitrogen before the growing season. And in that case, some of that nitrogen is lost during late spring when you get more heavy rains. But now we know that with this technology, when you are applying some nitrogen before the growing season and some nitrogen during the growing season, you may end up applying less nitrogen compared to applying more nitrogen early in the season. So as a result, you can save some money by applying less nitrogen, and then there are also some other benefits, that you would increase the plant health, and you would provide the nutrients at the right time when the plants need it. And then you would also reduce the risk of nitrogen loss to our groundwater resources that protects our water quality. Soil sampling is another technology that's available to determine the right nitrogen needs, but that is only at the start of the season, not at this time of the season. So for this time, we have this advanced sensor-based technology that you can use to determine the right nitrogen rate. We will stress that there are different types of nitrogen application as well. Some farmers, they apply nitrogen in fall, some apply in spring before the growing season, and some apply during the growing season at this time or before this time. So we encourage farmers to apply nitrogen in splits, so that they are like spoon feeding their crop, and they are applying the right rate at the right time when the crop needs that nitrogen. That really helps to meet the right rate for the crops at the right time, and that also helps us to improve to save the environment and improve the groundwater quality in Nebraska.